Hello everybody, my name is Alex. I'm the Managing Director of Tribemix. We're a social media and virtual reality agency based in Hitchin in UK. I'm very sorry I can't be with you today, but I'm currently in Barcelona on holiday with my family. But I will be watching all of the presentations live on GNet. And also Jade and Connie from my team are there with you today, and they've brought with them one of our virtual reality experiences on the Oculus Rift, as well as a free virtual reality headset for you to take home with you. So today is all about virtual reality. And I expect most of you have probably heard of it, some of you might have tried it, but probably very few of you think that it's going to change the world. So I'm just going to take a few minutes to introduce you to virtual reality, where it's come from, where it's going, and why you should be paying attention to it right now. Thank you. So what is virtual reality? The dictionary definition is a realistic and immersive simulation of a three-dimensional environment created using interactive software and hardware and experienced or controlled by movement of the body. It is commonly referred to as VR. But what does that actually mean? Well, with today's technology, it means wearing a headset that shows you a three-dimensional world that you can look around as if you're really there in a totally immersive environment. This means that you can enjoy a whole range of experiences that you never previously dreamed would be possible without moving from where you are. For example, you can climb Everest, you can walk on the moon, you can travel back in time, you can travel into the future. You can realize your wildest dreams. You can be anything you want, from a Star Trek captain to a survivor in a zombie apocalypse. You can capture any place in the world and preserve it for eternity, or even anyone. You can do anything. You can fly, you can walk on the bottom of the ocean, you can have superpowers. You can even be anywhere. You can experience any game from the front row, and you never need to miss your daughter's birthday again. The possibilities are endless. So where did virtual reality come from? Most of us think of virtual reality beginning with the virtual reality systems of the early 90s, but actually its roots go much further back than that. As long ago as the early 1800s, artists were creating immersive wraparound paintings to give viewers a sensation of being in the heart of battle. Then came the stereoscope in 1838, the first 3D imagery device. Over the years, there were a variety of devices that gave different levels of virtual experiences. But in 2011, an electronics enthusiast and virtual reality collector called Palmer Luckey created a new kind of virtual reality headset after becoming disillusioned with the lack of any decent hardware in the market at that time. His sixth iteration of that device was named the Rift, and he founded Oculus VR to facilitate a crowdfunding campaign with the intention of building 100 units. John Carmack, creator of the computer game Doom, found out about the Rift and requested a prototype, upon which he demoed Doom 3 at the Electronic Entertainment Expo in 2012. This attracted the interest of thousands of people, and the Kickstarter campaign subsequently raised $2.4 million, 10 times its original target. And full development began on the consumer version of the Oculus Rift. So was born the new era of virtual reality. Another significant development happened in 2014 when Facebook bought Oculus for $2 billion with the intention of speeding up the pace of bringing it to market. Mark Zuckerberg did this because he sees VR as the new platform. What we think of the platform today is the internet, but Facebook sees VR as something even bigger than that, which is why we should all be paying attention. In 2016, the Oculus Rift was put on general release to the public alongside its main competitor, the HTC Vive, developed by Valve Software. The two systems are very similar in their design and use, with a few significant differences. The Oculus Rift is smaller, lighter, and much easier to set up, but the Vive is the more advanced system as it offers room-scale virtual reality. Room-scale VR means that you can stand up and walk around in virtual reality like you're really there. The Vive also ships with VR hand controllers, allowing you to interact with the environment, pick up objects, and use weapons or tools in virtual reality. The Rift will catch up with these features, but it's still a good way behind. So how do they work? Essentially, they work in much the same way as your mobile phone. In fact, they're based on two mobile phone screens for the display. They also have an accelerometer to detect the movement of your head, just like you have in your phone, although the units in these devices are more advanced and sophisticated than those found in the current smartphone. At the front are two lenses called Fresnel lenses that distort the flat screens to give the illusion of wrapping around a field of view. Both devices have a field of view of 110 degrees, which gives you a small tunnel vision effect. Although there are devices in the pipeline, such as the Infinitus Prime, with a much wider field of view and therefore a much greater sense of immersion. The Rift and Vive are both what we call full-feature VR headsets. There are also many mobile VR headsets which use your own mobile phone slotted into the headset to provide the VR experience. Looking ahead, the major computer game manufacturers are all bringing their own full-feature VR headsets, beginning with Sony's PlayStation VR later this year, and Microsoft and Nintendo following shortly behind. So there are currently two sides to virtual reality content, and it's important to understand the difference between the two. On one side, we have 360 videos and photos, and on the other side, we have real-time 3D virtual reality. 360 videos are filmed on special cameras with multiple lenses and then stitched back together into a very strange-looking film. These films are then unwrapped around your full field of view using a VR device for you to watch. The current technology for this isn't great. It's largely limited by the maximum video resolution for most devices, which is 4K. Whilst this is a fantastic resolution on a high-end TV, when it's wrapped around you, this is soon overstretched and quality degrades. You're also limited in movement to the spot where the camera was, and you cannot interact. Real-time 3D VR is the same sort of technology used in computer games, with the environment around you being computer-generated from a 3D model. The resolution is at the maximum wherever you look, and you can move around and interact with the scene, pick up objects, etc. Both methods have their pros and cons in terms of content creation, and both are good for different applications. If you're not sure which would be best for your business, drop me an email and I'll be happy to help you decide. There is also another very important area in this marketplace. AR, or augmented reality, is a technology where reality and virtual reality are mixed to overlay computer-generated experiences on the real world. A recent notable example of this has been the phenomenon of Pokemon Go. It is believed that this area will ultimately be the most profitable sector. Both Microsoft and Google are working on new technology in this area with their HoloLens and Magic Leap devices, due in the next year or so.